Hi, I'm Jane Massie, a Crye-Leike realtor in Mississippi and Tennessee who loves real estate and good food. Today we're here in Hernando, Mississippi at the Parish. The Parish specializes in Cajun Creole cuisine and has some of the best raw oysters that you're going to find this far north of the Gulf Coast. Let's see what the Parish has to offer. Hi, I'm Jane Massie with North Mississippi Good Eats. Thank you for having me here.
I'm Barry Berkeley, General Manager of the Parish. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. So what I would like to know is, what do you think inspired Miles McMath when he created the Parish?
So Miles, as a child, spent a lot of time in St. Bernard Parish, right here in Araby, just outside New Orleans. And he brought a lot of that experience of food as a child into the concept here at the Parish.
Did I also hear that Miles had classical training?
That's correct. He trained at La Maison Meridian Culinary School, worked at Jacques Lynn and Brennan's in Louisiana, spent 10 years as Culinary Director of Operations at St. Jude, and owned or operated 4 restaurants.
One of the reasons that I wanted to feature the Parish is because y'all have something on your menu that not many other restaurants in North Mississippi or Tennessee have, and that's fresh fish. So how fresh is the fish?
We receive it on a daily basis.
Do you know what you're gonna have? Can people look at your menu one week to the next, or is it something you find out whenever you call the supplier?
Typically that'll change. We call a supplier, and whatever they have that is of best quality and the freshest is typically what we'll use that week.
Okay, so the chef's got to be prepared to fix numerous dishes because they don't know what fish they're going to be working with from day to day, I guess.
That's correct, and we've featured probably 20 or 30 different types of fish since we've opened.
Tell me a little bit about what customers can expect when they come to dine at the Parish.
So we take walk-ins, and we also do a limited amount of reservations. So if you have a time in advance that you'd like to come, we can reserve that table for you. If not, we always have tables open for walk-ins if you want to do it on a spur-of-the-moment basis.
Yeah, because I'm kind of a spur-of-the-moment type person, and I don't mind waiting a little bit, especially if you have a bar. And at an oyster bar, there's no better wait, to be able to eat a few oysters before your meal.
That's a good way to spend the wait.
So what we're gonna have today is we're gonna have a little tutorial on oyster shucking, and I'm gonna do a tutorial on oyster eating. And then Miles is going to prepare trout amadine.
That's correct.
Miles, what are you gonna prepare for us today?
Classic trout amadine with sauce meuniere and some good Water Valley Mississippi grits.
Okay, that's where I'm from, so I'm excited that you're gonna feature the grit.
Yeah, so I've got a pan on the stove, getting a little hot. I'm just gonna put a little bit of cooking oil. Got a fresh rainbow trout here. So what I wanna do first is I wanna season the inside of that with just a little Creole seasoning, salt and pepper. We'll fold it over. The trick to a lot of the Louisiana cooking is the skin on the fish. Is a lot of their fish, they'll put a little mustard with it. And what I'll do there is just take a little of this. That's just for straight seasoned corn flour. Dredge it in that. Same side here. Mustard.
So does the mustard add to the flavor or just help
You
them?
really can't tell the mustard's on there.
Okay.
I think it cuts a lot of the fishiness out.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you won't pick up a lot of people don't like trout, and I think a lot of it has to do with the skin. So we'll just take that, open it up, we have our hot pan. So as we let that fry, we have our sauce, which is a classic meuniere sauce, which means miller's wife. So it's something you can throw together. It's usually it contains parsley, black pepper, salt, butter, a little bit of lemon juice.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Have some really good Delta grind grits, again from Water Valley, Mississippi. One little trick we do with our grits is when we get finished with them, we'll whisk in eggs. And that's just a childhood thing, but I've always loved it. And if you whisk them and heat them up, it just gives them a really, really creamy, good texture to them. So I think our fish is about ready to flip. You don't want to cook it, so it's cooked about 70–80% right there. Okay. So you really just want to sear that side. Get a good sear on it, and then we're going to remove the fish. I like to add just a little bit of wine for that belly. Just gives that a really, really good flavor. Now we've got our fish seared on the other side. Flip it back over. Go onto the pan, and we'll close it back up. Put our skillet back on. Now we'll make our sauce. So let our skillet get hot. Start out with just a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of fat man, which is a Creole seasoning. A little bit of Worcestershire, white wine. Let that off the flame. Take our garlic butter. The key to the garlic butter now is you really want to just melt this butter. You don't want to put too much heat on it because it'll get oily. Just work little bits of butter in at a time. Just take that off the flame. Alright, so we take our grits we have there. Take our mustard crusted fish. Lay that with our grits. Take that one. Take a little bit of almonds. Just a little bit of almonds on top. Our pan sauce. See, we didn't melt that butter all the way, so it stays emulsified together. Just pour that over the top. And we like to finish it with a little bit of fried capers. We just take capers, drain them, and then deep fry them. And it's just a little bit of tobacco fried onion. And we'll garnish that with parsley. There you have trout almondine with sauce meuniere with Water Valley grits from the Parish, Hernando, Mississippi.
The moment of truth. It's time to taste the dish. I'm going to start out with the grits, which are from Water Valley. So a shout out to my hometown, Water Valley. So, the Delta Grind grits is probably one of the best grits I've ever tasted. And I really mean that because it tastes like corn. And a lot of times when you get instant grits, they lack the flavor and they lack the texture. But these are creamy. I think you're just adding butter and salt and they're delicious. The fish, let's see how the trout is. It's got a nice crust on it. I love capers, but I've never had any fried. Get an almond in that bite too. That'll make you do a happy dance. It's not fishy, and that's different for trout because a lot of times people don't like to eat trout because it does have a fishy taste. This piece of fish is not. It's mild. It's nutty even without the almonds. It's got a great flavor, and it's flaky. And the garlic butter. It just adds an extra layer of richness to the food. So I don't think you can go wrong. If you get to come when they're having the trout foradine, make sure that you have the catch of the day. And you can order a bag of the Delta Grind grits at deltagrind.com. Now for the part we've all been waiting for, let's join Barry at the Oyster Bar. Barry, tell me, what makes these oysters different from other oysters?
So these are murder points. They're a type of, we call it boutique oyster. They're grown, suspended in the water, so they're exposed to better water, and in turn you get a cleaner oyster.
Okay, so I know sometimes I love oysters. I eat them all over the place, you know, on the coast, whatever coast I'm visiting, and sometimes you get sand in the oyster, in the meat.
Right.
So you're saying that this is grown in cleaner water, so you're gonna have a cleaner product.
Exactly.
Okay. Barry's an expert oyster shucker, and I'm an expert oyster eater, but today he's going to teach me how to shuck the oysters.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is set this oyster down with the eye side up.
Gotcha.
You want to locate the eye with your oyster knife.
Got it.
And you want to work that knife in there. Can you feel it a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Like a little space.
Right. And then you want to kind of pop up on.
Maybe I don't have it in far enough. Or maybe I'm just weak. Hey, I think I'm getting it. I got it.
There you go.
I do it better like this, I think. All right.
There you go.
So, did yours come all the way off?
So,
Mine didn't.
At this point, you want to locate that top muscle you see right there.
Right.
And run your blade.
Loosen it from the shell.
Right.
There we go. Hey, I did it.
You did do it.
Can't wait to eat this. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So finally, the part that I've been looking the most forward to, which is trying the Murder Point oysters. So the liquor of the oyster is salty or briny. The texture is creamy. And it's very mild, so it's a really good oyster. And one thing that I know about oysters is that people either love them or hate them. There's no in between. So if you want to have your first experience eating oysters with a good oyster, then I highly recommend coming to the parish to try their boutique oysters. No matter whether you enjoy good food or learning more about North Mississippi and the great places it offers to eat, or you're interested in buying or selling real estate, please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Until next time, happy eats.